All right, guys, welcome back. I got Michael jump with me. We are going to talk about some business things. He owns Crawford's in Mount Zion. Him and his wife bought that from us a couple years ago. So we're going to talk a little bit about just running a business in a small town, as well as just how important it is that we kind of tell our story with our businesses and why we're even in the industry that we're in. So Michael, what kind of drives you? Why do you think it's important that we're kind of telling our story of why we're in the restaurant business to begin with? Why pizza? Why the having inside seating when there's obviously the options of having just delivery carry out and things like that?
I think it's important because someone might not understand the business, like the community you grow through a restaurant. Pizza, like everybody loves pizza. I mean, and
It's so versatile.
Yeah, and having inside seating, it gives you that extra layer of like actually getting to know the people. It's not just someone walking in and you handing their food over the counter and saying have a good night. It's like you get to see their kids grow up in your restaurant. We have regulars that are their kids were in high chairs and now they're running around.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I just helped with Maroa's graduation last May, and they were kindergartners when we opened the Maroa store.
Yeah.
And like some of them worked for us, and so it was cool to do that graduation because, especially Hill being out front more than I am, but still just seeing these kids actually grow up in your restaurant and then go on to even some of them work for you and then graduate high school and go on and do all these amazing things. I mean, that's a big reason why Hill and I love what we do, especially being in a small community, a tight-knit community, and being able to see that happen.
Yeah, no, and I guess another thing is, you get to be involved with a lot of things. Like, unfortunately, sometimes it may be a tragedy or, a family, is going through a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
You get to do everything in your power to help them. Then also you do get to see those kids grow and teach them how to work. Some of my best hires were first-time job.
Sure.
But,
Yeah.
You get to teach them how to work, like opposed to, someone that's coming in that's had multiple jobs and they kind of have an idea of what they think it should look like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For Hill and I we chose the restaurant business because obviously I grew up in it, and I really always had that goal of having the inside seating, having a bar area, and all that stuff. Why did you choose to even want to buy, the Mount Zion location and be, in the restaurant business, aside from obviously the stuff with building those relationships?
Yeah, I don't know. I've always had a desire to serve, like in one way or the other. I've really only had 2 jobs in my life, and they've both been service. Like we went over before. Like I was in landscaping. I was serving people in a different way, and then so like I enjoy serving and hopefully making someone's day better.
Right. Just taking pride.
Yeah.
In what we've always been hard workers, but taking pride in like a product, even when it was landscaping for you, but there's a little bit more immediate gratification of when it's something like food.
Yeah.
And making somebody happy because the food is good, the service is good. I feel like that's another big reason why I love what I do is being able to serve.
Yeah.
In that way. Yes, they're paying for it, but they're going to be paying to go out to eat regardless. It's being able to just serve them and put out a good quality product, and that's something that obviously we take a lot of pride in. We will pay the extra money to keep the certain things the way they're supposed to be on our menus because it is so important to have that consistency.
It is, yeah. Consistency is definitely the key to putting out a good product. I mean,
Yeah.
just switching something minor can affect the product in a major way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and sometimes it's out of our control.
Yeah,
You know, a
yeah, that
supplier
is.
all of a sudden says, "Hey, we don't carry that exact thing anymore. Hey, try this," and then we have to try it for a week because we don't have time to figure it out. And it's like, okay, this is not gonna get it done.
Well,
We need to
yeah.
quickly pivot and get the
Well, I mean, like the breadsticks, like with
Yeah.
same breadsticks for what 20 years or
oh, heck,
20
probably 30 plus
Yeah.
years with the pizza factory.
yeah, and it's like, one day they say, "Wait, we're not making those no more."
Yeah,
Like,
we have to
I mean,
find a different company to supply
different
it.
company, yeah, and I mean, what we went through probably 2 or 3
To
before we
find the
landed.
closest match we could.
Before we landed on what we're currently using. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, and we can't, obviously, like COVID amplified that
Mm-hmm.
up and down carousel, but I mean, it's always been around where, all of
Yeah.
a sudden suppliers stop carrying something or a company just stops producing it or whatever. But I mean, but that's just, it goes back to having pride
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
product and in the service. And I mean, it's hard to get people, especially employees to want to match that enthusiasm
Yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's always a constant battle that we have to tell ourselves, like, I can't expect everybody to have the same level
Sure.
of passion that I have. So, but I do try to instill it in them, like, at least have pride in at least while you're here, like, at least have pride in what you're doing. I mean,
Yeah. And with the telling our story part, I mean, we have kids,
Mhm.
and I think it's important our kids see that, and having our kids there is important. I know you guys have your kids
Mhm.
there, sometimes too, and customers and people want to see that. Like we're families, we're raising families, we're trying to grow a business and run a business to the best of our abilities. And do we mess up? Of course. Things like that, and. But it's just so, I think there's just something that people really enjoy about seeing. Like I always there's a couple places that we go, and I like seeing their kids
Mhm.
there. Like you feel like you're contributing to that, and that's like that small town feel, and that being able to be supportive of that is important.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the small town feels, what I really love about what we do and
Yeah.
where we do it at. And it has its challenges, but
Sure.
I feel like you're going to have those anywhere you go. So
Yeah, there's always different challenges. Like for all of us, for our businesses, our towns may be smaller, obviously, than like being in a Bloomington with 100,000 people
Mhm.
or whatever. But how easy is it in Bloomington to be connected with the local schools and be a part of those types of fundraisers, being a part of youth leagues and things like that? I mean, I
Yeah.
imagine it's a lot harder up there, but that kind of segues into like marketing. I think our best marketing is being involved in the schools and being involved in the youth leagues. I mean, those things. I mean, because speaking as a parent, I want to support the places that support my kids'
Yeah.
activities.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, when I see, X is sponsoring something that my daughter is playing at, I am more apt to go support them because I know how the carousel works. If we don't go support that business, next year they're not going to be able to sponsor that
Nope,
thing.
not at all.
And a lot of people don't, a lot of people want to ask for the sponsorships, but we've talked about this,
Yes.
Elle and I kind of have this, okay, if they're a regular customer of ours and they're asking for us to sponsor something or help with something, it's an easy yes for us.
Yeah.
Because we know that they're supporting us and they care about our business. They know that we obviously have to be busy and make money to be able to then turn around and donate and
Yeah.
sponsor things.
Yeah.
But you always get those people that never have even stepped foot in your restaurant, but hey, would you sponsor this $300 thing? It's like, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. 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 We've had to get better at saying, we want to, like, it's not that we don't want to, but we have
But
to
there's
be
limited
able,
money. You don't
yeah.
have unlimited money to
Yeah.
spend on advertising.
Yeah, that I think is probably something just most people don't understand on a,
Yeah.
not a business like owner level. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, you got the printer in the back, so just print off the money. That's not how it works, unfortunately.
No.
I mean, it would be nice because we would love to do more and more and like give back more to the community, because that's something that brings us joy, and that's something that we feel like we've been called to do is, give to the community. But there are limitations on what you can do.
Yeah, I think it goes back to, we've talked about this before as well with our faith. I mean, we're both Christians, and we put all of our faith in Jesus. And at the end of the day, we're supposed to be good stewards. I mean, we acknowledge that really God owns these restaurants.
Exactly.
We are just the stewards of them, and we have a responsibility to steward them in a responsible way financially, with people, using them to help our community and things like that. But with that is being stewards. We can't just spend all the money on donating to everything. We have to be able to keep the doors open because we also have people relying on jobs so they get paid their bills. And we need to be able to balance that and use that to the best of our abilities. And it's hard a lot of times.
I mean, and I think as, we've a little over 2 years of owning it, and we've learned that we have gotten extended a little far on certain things, and donating or doing something, sponsoring a team, and it's like, we've had to reel that in a little bit. It's such a slippery slope, because it's like, oh well, maybe if I do sponsor this team, maybe we'll bring in more customers, and that's where we battle, I guess, to say no, but we have gotten better at it for sure.
So what are some of the advertising things that have worked best for you guys? Aside from, obviously, we've talked about advertising schools and youth league stuff. To me, those are must-dos for your small town.
Yes.
Especially restaurants, your small town businesses, getting involved in your community as much as possible. But what has worked for you guys outside of that, do you think?
I think, like, my wife does all of it. Like, I'm not smart enough to do it, but the like Facebook,
social media stuff,
she's good at putting videos together and putting those out. And we got some that are have 5,000-6,000 views on them.
Yeah.
And that is kind of a lot for a small town, I think. So social media.
We've had a lot of luck with giveaways.
Yeah.
On social media, doing certain giveaways. Hey, comment and post and share, enter a chance to win this type thing.
Yeah.
That's worked out well for us too. You have to be careful though, not to do it too much, because then it gets, the algorithm's changing all the time.
Yeah.
So being careful with that, but I do think there's a lot of good in doing those giveaways and trying to expand your social media presence. And I'm the same. Like, I'm not a social media guru by any means, and especially now when you've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, like there's so many of them, and there's so many people. Like, everyone is different on which one is the one they use the most. So it's like you almost want to have a presence on all of them, but that's hard being. You are your marketing crew too.
Yeah, exactly. No, the giveaways are, we haven't done one for a while, but we did do one, and we got a good, hey, throw your name in the hat for any dine-in or pickup, and win this prize, and we just have one of our kids draw it out, and that's just another thing of getting to use your family for people to see.
Yeah, and I think another thing that has worked for us really well is networking with other businesses.
Yes.
Networking with people, and I know you and Christine are real intentional about doing that with like the Mount Zion Chamber, and you guys did the thing on Debbie Drive.
Yeah, at Dead End on Debbie. It was a block party where we had bands and vendors and things like that, and we did it with the bar across the street, and then there's a tattoo shop across the street as well, and we'd love to get more businesses involved. This was the first year, and it was, kind of a learning experience that, we learned. And
well, weather didn't help you.
Weather didn't, but like that was one of the things is that the guy at the tattoo shop, he's really good at like marketing, like things like that. So like, I mean, he had radio spots, he had, you know, hit kind of his go-tos, and that really, I mean, went well. I mean, I feel like if we didn't get rained out, it would have been even bigger than what it
Yeah.
was. And it was and I mean, it was a good day. Like
Yeah.
I'm not upset about.
Well, you made connections though.
Yep.
Like you had told me, you made a lot of connections of people you never would have met
Yep.
had you not been
Yep.
a part of that event.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And probably gained some customers.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is usually the goal for the
Yeah.
advertising. You're not going for the one hit
No.
of them ordering one time. I mean, obviously our goal is to how can we get this person to become a loyal, regular customer.
Yeah, and you got to get them out there to get that one order. Like it all starts with one order to get the regular that's going to come back.
Right, and
once
then
a
how
week.
do you reel them back in? I mean, you know, we've obviously been pretty blessed. Like we have a good product, and we all have a lot of good regular customers. But how do you get those new customers? You know, that's the thing that, you know, I think Helen and I have been thinking about a lot lately is how do we keep getting the new customers? Because like obviously we don't really put money into radio
No.
or anything, but yeah, social media. But it's like once again, the age demographic is different on each platform. How are we going to reach them all? You know, we've had some luck with direct mailers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that there is value in that because it is hitting everyone's mailbox. And a lot of people, especially if you're not doing it in like that group thing, you know, at least look at it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure a good percentage get thrown away.
Yeah.
But, and then how do you, you know, and then navigating is, you know, advertising through Google, something to try. We haven't. I'm just saying,
yeah.
I don't know. It might be, there's just so many different things because at the end of the day, you know, and, you know, something I know that we are wanting to work on is a loyalty program.
Yeah.
Things like that. But how, you know, we get that first order, you know, I want to do better about how do we reach them, especially with having online ordering is something to get them in for that second time. Because you know, the statistics say, you know, once they've ordered 3 times in a certain amount of period, you've got them as like a customer.
Yeah.
So, you know, the goal is get them in 3 times in a reasonable time period, and then you've got a customer.
Yeah.
So navigating that and getting that done, but I mean, once again, there's only limited resources.
Yeah.
But figuring that out.
Yeah. The loyalty thing is something that we've really dug into, and it's kind of a lot. Like it seems like it would be easy, just like, oh, throw this out there and go, but like you got to train your staff on it, on how to do it correctly.
Yep.
You know, what do you earn with your points and things like that, and
Yeah.
you don't want to put something in wrong, and you know it was supposed to be $10 and it you know, somehow they stacked, you know, a bunch of $10 and got $100 off, like, you know, or something.
And if you structure right, then great. That means they ordered X amount over that year, and more power to them.
Yeah.
But I know that, you know, for somebody in any business, trying to get repeat customers is obviously, like, that's how you turn it into a business. You can't just have a bunch of one-timers.
Yeah.
And obviously, for me, putting out a great product and being proud of that product is like, number one.
Yeah.
And then working on your customer service would be kind of number 2 for me. And then number 3 is developing your staff.
Yeah. Yeah.
To match that service and that quality, because physically, I mean, we can't be there every single hour. It's, you know, not really feasible.
Yeah. No. The staffing is, I think, one of that I would say number 3, obviously too, but getting them on that level of where they do take pride in what they do.
Which is tricky because we're dealing with 16-year-olds all the way to maybe, you know, 60-year-olds in our staff. So it's navigating that, and I think that something that's important is just take the time to talk to them and get to know them a little bit. You know, obviously keep that boundary of boss, you know, of leader versus non and boss, but take the time to get to know them and care about them. You know their dad is sick or something. You know, something as simple as just next time you see him, hey, how's your dad doing? Blah blah blah. I think goes a long way with building that culture
Oh, yeah.
of them buying into what you're trying to
Yeah.
do, your vision and your goals.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel like I do a pretty good job of getting to know, and talking to our employees. It's just as I get older, these 16-year-olds are the same age, and that age gap has gotten.
I know.
So, it's like
I know.
that's where I'm like I kind of feel like I hit a wall sometimes. It's like I don't even know what to talk to you about.
It is crazy because those first time employees are staying the same age and we're getting older.
Mhm.
So navigating that and being able to connect with them, and that's why you figure out what are their interests.
Yeah.
It's easier for us to connect with the ones that are interested in sports, because
Oh, yeah.
then we can just talk.
Yeah.
We know, I mean, I know we don't follow sports like either one of us
Yeah.
used to, but we know enough about sports to have that conversation.
Well, yeah.
And,
You have the high school football player that it's like,
yeah,
hey, how'd you guys do last night?
yeah,
Well, it was a tough one or whatever. Well, you learn from those tough losses, and be able to talk a little bit about growing in that area of your life, because at one point in time we were in that area of that season of life where your high school football is the only thing that you really cared about.
Yeah.
So
life was a lot simpler.
yeah,
You
gosh,
don't have
yeah.
to pay for every little thing,
Mhm.
and the responsibilities are way less. But
Now we're in the season of life where it's like, oh, now that's kind of turning into our kids'
Yeah.
interest, and it's like, I mean, it's exciting to see them grow like that, but it also takes you back a little bit.
yeah,
Like, man.
and new challenges.
Yes, exactly.
Do you believe that there's a thing called a work-life balance? Like, do you believe that that's actually something you're striving for, or how do you look? How do you look at that?
I'd say it's something I'm striving for, but I don't know if it necessarily actually exists for a small business owner. Like sometimes I have to just tell my wife, like, all right, we're gonna put this on hold right now. Like, we're not gonna talk about work. Like,
Yeah.
it was a long day, like,
Sure.
or a long week or whatever. I'm like, so I do try to say, hey, we gotta hit pause on this. We'll
Yeah.
talk about this in the morning. But it's tough sometimes, because a lot of times the conversation leads right back to what we were already talking about that we put on pause.
Yeah. I mean, and this isn't restaurant exclusive. Small businesses,
Mm-hmm.
to really get it up and going and for it to maintain what you're hoping for it to maintain. I mean, it takes so much more than you could ever imagine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I don't think, I mean, because unfortunately in the age of social media, all these younger, especially the younger generation, they can look and see all these people that, yes, you have those one-offs that made millions with this one thing or whatever. They became a social media influencer, all this stuff. But to truly like build a brand and build a company, it just takes way more than most of those people haven't built crap. It's just fake. It's all pictures and crap on the internet. But what it actually takes to build something that is going to last, that you can leave some sort of legacy with, and something that's going to be there for, like, now, like I just talked about those seniors that just graduated, and some of them will stay in the Merle Forsyth area and raise families, and I want that restaurant to still be there for their kids. I want to be their tradition too. Yeah. And just building that generational of bringing people together and that joy and everything. I mean, that's why, I mean, it just takes way more.
Oh yeah.
Than you could ever factor.
That I feel like there's a lot of times, like, you don't show it. Like, I don't show it, but it's like, man, my brain power is pinged on, revved a little high right now, but sometimes you just got to push through those.
Yeah, I mean, heck, anymore, I don't take any shame if I can sit down for 15 minutes and just, like, clear my head to just, it used to be, I don't need to stop. I just need to keep going. If I can take 15 or 20 minutes, if that's what it takes to just, like, take a deep breath, pray a little bit, reset my mind, and I'm more productive afterwards. Like, I've just learned I have to do that, because especially when you're getting, like, overstimulated, maybe you have a series of unfortunate things happening, and you're trying to navigate all of them, and you don't want to make it even worse, obviously,
Yeah.
or something. So taking that deep breath to learning, just
I mean, just
calm down.
taking that time, just like I say, even 15 minutes. Sometimes it's just like, okay, I was stressed about this before. Still a problem, but it's not stressing me out. Like,
But when you're going and you're all revved up, usually you're making the problem worse than it actually is.
Yeah.
Like taking a step back, okay, yes, this stinks that I have to deal with it, but it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad, and we're gonna figure it out.
yeah, no, yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Yeah.
but that comes back. I mean, with the work-life balance, 'cause I agree. I don't think I strive to be more intentional with my time.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's never a balance. I guess I have learned that I'm never gonna have 50 hours of working and 50 hours of free time, or
Yeah.
any of that. I'm never gonna have some perfect balance.
No.
There's gonna be weeks where maybe I'll get a little bit more time with Hill and the kids, and there's gonna be weeks where I don't see them very much, and I don't get to go to the sporting events, and that's okay. I want my kids to understand that, though, because at the end of the day, like, that's how life works.
Yep.
You don't get to control everything.
No.
And
Yeah.
you're going to have to pivot. You're going to have to take care of things. I mean, even people that don't own businesses, they have to do similar things. I mean, they can't make everything. They
Yeah.
can't, go to every event. They can't.
No.
I mean, you have to be willing to, especially if you're wanting to be successful.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's one of the problems with social media, in the influencer era, is that they're like, oh, this person is famous and they're successful overnight, and like you said, it's probably fake.
Yeah,
I mean,
this person gets to take their kid to school, pick their kid up, go to every sporting event, do every this and that. That's not real.
No.
That's not real. And if it is for them, great. Great. I'm sure there are some people out there and they get to do that. But the way my mind works is I'm just going to keep pushing harder if I have that much time.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my kids, but I don't want them to think that in the real world you just get to do whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, the work never, like, as a small business owner, the work never really stops. So, like, if you're just dropping everything every time that there's a game or school's out, I gotta go pick the kids up. Like, I don't think that really sets a good precedent for, even if it doesn't affect your work. Like, it doesn't really set a good precedent for your kids. Like, 'cause like they're watching you. Like, they understand, like, oh, that's how life works, and that's not necessarily even not as a business owner. Like, if they go work in a office somewhere, like, you don't get to just leave work and go pick your kid up from school.
No,
like, that's not how it works. And if you think that's how it should be, then you either are going to have to learn to accept that it's not, or figure out how to make life that way for you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it's admirable to have your goals, and if that's one of your goals, that's fine. You can maybe get yourself to some situation like that, but it's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of grinding to get to that point. You're not going to work a 40-hour-a-week job and then magically, when your kids are old enough, be able to give yourself some sort of extra freedom. Like, that's just not.
Yeah.
That's just not realistic, whether you're a business owner or just a regular person in the world working.
Yeah.
You have to make some sacrifices. You have to put in a lot of grind work, and that's what I see with a lot of people that ask me for advice or want to talk to me about business. It's like, well, first, you need to just be okay with knowing you're going to work way more than you think. And if you're not willing to be up till midnight and back up at 5 or 6 in the morning and doing those intangible things, then most likely you're going to get your butt kicked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. Like, sometimes you just have to do the hard things, and it's whether it's emotionally hard or actually physically hard, like, which usually they kind of go hand in hand because
Yeah.
like for that block party we threw, like I didn't the night before I didn't leave work until after 10 p.m. and I was back at 4 a.m. getting on the day of trying to get everything
Right.
ready to go and set up. Like, and then I didn't get home until 11 p.m. that night.
Yeah.
Like, that
But
was
to
hard.
pull off a good event, that's
Yeah.
that's the type of stuff you have to do.
That's the sacrifice. I didn't see my kids. Well, I did see my kids that day because they did come out to the party for a little bit, but
Right.
I didn't hang out with them. I seen them in passing, like, hey, how's it?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I
have
mean,
fun.
heck, there's been plenty of trips where Hill has taken the kids, and I'm not able to go, and
Mhm.
it's like, I mean, that's part of the deal. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I'm not bitter about that.
No.
That's
No.
that is part of the deal.
And I mean,
That is part of wanting to make the sacrifices to get to a certain point, so that someday down the road, sure, I can go on the trips, and I
Yeah.
won't take that for granted.
well, I think part of it too is like you're making the sacrifice, but you're not making the sacrifice for yourself. Like,
No.
at the end of the day, like, we make the sacrifice for our family. Like,
Yeah.
if I never got to go on vacation again, but my kids get to go and enjoy themselves, then I would. Obviously, I don't want it to be like that, but
Right.
I wouldn't be bitter about it. I'm like,
No.
yeah, go have fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, there's plenty of business owners especially, that do go years without doing anything because that is what that's what it requires
Yeah.
to get over some hump that you need to get over to, okay, I'm comfortable now. We have the good staff
Yeah.
and we have the backup funds ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way of putting it. It's hard.
It is. It is hard.
I mean, it's harder than anybody thinks, and I mean, especially somebody that might look at us, they might think, I mean, but you guys are at decent positions now in your business. It's like, yeah, but you don't see what happens when you lose that one person
Mm-hmm.
that's working 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
It falls on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or me, or
Yeah. Or
whatever the situation is.
Or heaven forbid you lose that person that works 40 hours a week, and then you also lose someone that worked, 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and you can't physically absorb all the hours, but
No.
you got to figure out a way to absorb a lot of them.
Yeah,
until
I
you
mean,
can train
well,
someone.
the dough roller, you lose a dough roller. Okay, that's a morning job. Like, okay, well, I guess I'll be rolling dough, and then I'll be coming in and opening the store at 10. So that means I have to be there at 4 a.m. and go home, shower, get cleaned up after that job's done, and come back in and run the store for the day.
Yeah,
So,
but and I want to say it's way harder than you'll ever think, but it's also way more rewarding
yeah,
than you could ever think.
yeah,
I mean, you think it's going to be rewarding, but it's like, I mean, when you actually have those moments, especially when that customer gives that compliment about, especially if it's about like a team member, one of your,
Yeah.
when somebody compliments, your server, or, hey, that pizza was awesome, and you're like, I was there, but I had nothing to do with cooking that pizza. Like, that makes you feel really good.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for me, that makes me feel really good, because like, okay, that's awesome. Like, they did a good job of taking care of the customer, and I always try and make sure I tell them thank you and things. I mean, you can't beat that kind of, especially when you're not, like, when you weren't the one that physically made it. I mean, obviously I feel great whenever I get complimented for me making it, but it's just, I don't know, I feel even more excited when they're complimenting and I didn't make it.
I honestly, I don't know, a bigger accomplishment if you've taught someone to do it just as good as you would, and they actually did that,
and it gives you the confidence, like, they are taking pride in what they're doing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find.
It is, yeah.
Nowadays, I mean, I'm sure it's always been hard to find, let's be honest, but
Yeah.
In an age where people can get bogged down by social media and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, the physical work of a restaurant job, it's more than what people probably really realize. And you have a 18-year-old kid that's like, oh, like, this guy's driving a Corvette and he doesn't work, or, doesn't have a real, he's an influencer, and like they get bogged down, and I feel like they get stuck in that mentality of like, that's how my life should be, and it's not necessarily like that. So it keeping them, I guess, level-headed is the best way to put it, but
yeah,
it's also difficult.
When it comes to, people, this is something that I've been struggling with the last probably like couple years, and trying to do a better job of like incorporating my faith into my business more, and having that like positive influence within the business more. Is that something you've thought about much? I mean,
It's actually something I've thought about a lot.
Because there's been plenty of employees I've prayed with, prayed for, but that's something I feel like I need to do a better job of. Like, I feel like as a business owner, we're called to do that. Like, our faith should be something that hopefully has a good, lasting, positive impression on the people we're around. And how do we navigate that? Like, obviously, I'm never trying to offend anybody. Like, I've had plenty of conversations with employees that are not Christians, and that, it's a fine conversation. No big deal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, usually when after that conversation, I just go to like praying for them. Like, hey, I just hope that they can come to find Jesus in some way, shape, or form down the road. Like, because we're just called to plant seeds and try and water them. I mean, we can't make it grow. That's all up to God. I mean, we're just. But it's something that has been on my mind a lot more with the businesses that, not just the restaurants, but the gym and everything else. I mean, is that something that...
Yeah, it is on my mind, and me and Christine have talked about it on multiple occasions. Like, I struggle with, like, I know there's people that don't believe, and, like, I want them to believe, but I don't know how to, I guess, have that conversation without offending them, like.
Well, yeah, it's hard because you don't know why they don't believe.
Yeah.
Some people, they don't have a reason why they don't. They just never been exposed to it. But then there are people that are, they either got hurt by a church or hurt by somebody that claimed to be a Christian or something like that.
Yeah.
And so it is hard to navigate that. But I do, for us being Christians, I think it's important for it to be at least on our minds of how can we do a better job of that. And I'm obviously have not figured it out completely, and I don't think there's like ever a perfect way of doing it. But being more intentional is something that has been important to me.
I've been more intentional about being open about my faith.
Yeah.
And I haven't just approached people about it, but I'm intentional about them knowing that what my faith is.
Right.
If you want to have a conversation with me, whether you believe or not, then come have a conversation with me, and we can, maybe hopefully I can, guide you down the right path. Because it's not an easy path. In my opinion, like, you have to work at it, and if you don't work at it, you lose it faster than anything. I feel like than anything. Like, if you just stop, say you just stop going to church for a month, like it comes very easy to be like, okay, well, I'm just not gonna go. Like, that's.
And we're meant to be in fellowship with others.
Yes.
I mean, God designed us to have that fellowship, and I think it's important. Like, I personally look at it, I get excited about it when I'm talking, especially to a fellow Christian, and we're going back and forth, but it's a journey. You're never gonna.
Nope.
There's no one that has ever fully understood theology.
Nope.
And memorized. There's people that have memorized huge chunks of Scripture, but I don't know if anyone's ever memorized all of Scripture. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always a way to grow. There's not ever well, I've prayed enough today.
Yeah.
or I've read enough of the Bible today, I've learned enough about Jesus today. Like, that's an ongoing journey, and you're going to have highs and lows in your life that dictate how that journey,
Yeah.
kind of goes.
Yeah, and that's kind of something you know, conversations that I have, had with people is like, you can find anything going on in your life, anything you can find in the Bible on how to fix it.
Yeah.
It might take work, but
Well, I mean, I think whether you're a Christian, non-Christian, a different religion, I mean, if you just read the book of Proverbs every day, thinking it as a self-help / business book, I mean, the principles in Proverbs are just sound advice
Yeah.
for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, why would you not?
yeah, I mean, I feel like if people actually sat down and they looked at the scriptures and you take religion out of it and you just take the information you got, it's the best advice that you can get.
Right.
Or guidance on
Sure.
things, in my opinion. But
No, I mean, I agree. And that's why, like, anybody that's asked me, especially recently, like, well, read the book of Proverbs first. You'll get plenty of just regular sound advice.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, it's just good wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who doesn't want to be more wise?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, that especially the people that are motivated and trying to grow, read something that's going to help you grow. Whether you're a Christian or not, I mean,
yeah.
and I'm hoping that just kind of like leads them to be more curious and read other parts of.
I mean,
Scripture.
I don't know how it couldn't.
I mean, at least would pique someone's interest.
Yeah.
You would think. I mean,
at least try, another chapter.
Yeah.
Or and
Bounce
see where
around
that
to
takes you.
To another book.
Yeah.
We'll kind of wrap it up with talking about. So you obviously work with Christine full time.
Mm-hmm.
I work with Hill full time, and I'm actually going to have Hill's actually going to do a podcast with me for next week, which she is nervous about, but we'll see how it goes. Pros, cons. What do you think? I mean, as far as working with your spouse, what would be some, or not even necessarily pros, cons, just what's a few pieces of advice that you would give to somebody that is thinking about working with their spouse?
Oh, I mean,
on a full-time basis.
I can give pros and cons advice. I don't know if it's the right advice.
Just from what your experience.
Pros are like it's made us closer.
Yeah.
There was a time where we just weren't even really that close, and we, had kids, and life was pretty good. All things considered,
Mm-hmm.
but we just weren't even really that close.
Yeah.
And tying that back to religion, like that's when we started going to church again, and that made us closer. And then we made the jump to become business owners, and that made us even closer on top of that. So I would just say the closeness of
Mm-hmm.
being with your wife or your spouse. Cons would be it when you both do the same job, sometimes it is hard to just like turn off the job for, even if it's just to sit down and watch a, 30-minute TV show.
Sure.
It is difficult to do that. And I guess the advice would be that kind of goes along with those is like, you got to make sure you separate the business and the family life. I can't be upset with you at work and then also be upset with you at home.
It's hard.
Over what happened at work, and it is hard. That's I would say one of the most difficult things is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll piggyback off that, and something that I had to learn really quick because, you know, we had just gotten married a few months before we opened our first store, was learning to fight fair and not, like, attack the situation and not the person, and make sure you're fighting fair. Like, just make it about, you know, if it's just a business situation, okay, we're on the same team, let's attack the situation. Like, because I would be always quick to take it out on her, you know, even though she might not even have anything to do with the situation. She was just the one that was taking the brunt of it. And, you know, that was just because I was, like, so high strung to, like, do a good job and be successful. So, like, when you're making if you make a mistake, you're bound, someone's bound to be in the crossfire.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the quicker we made Jesus the foundation of our marriage, the quicker things became a lot easier to handle those stressful situations, because our foundation was the same. I don't know how married people that don't have the same foundation do it. Like, that's just, I mean, mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's Jesus or whatever I feel like you have to be on the same page of what the foundation of your marriage is, because if there's no foundation, I don't know how you're gonna be successful in your marriage.
Yeah.
And that obviously translates to being a parent.
Yeah.
So, and just, like, intentionally be grateful that you get to work with your spouse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something I would tell somebody that's thinking about it. I mean, you get to work with who is supposed to be your best friend, and you can trust more than anyone else in the world. I mean, I don't know what more you could ask for in going into business. I mean, because you can't, those are, like, two very important things.
Yeah.
In business.
Like, well, that's, you know, so, like, we've had to use, hey, we're working together, like, we're spending time together.
Yeah.
Like, I've been at work, I've been at the store a lot. Like, I haven't been home, so you come into work, do office stuff, and I'm at work. Like, hey, we get to sit down and have lunch together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like,
and just talk about things and brainstorm and, I mean, just, I wouldn't have it any other way. There are definitely some times, probably early on, I might have taken it for granted, but I quickly learned not to take that for granted and to be grateful. Like, I get to work with my wife.
Yeah.
And, you know, we both had to kind of shape and learn each other's roles in the business and be okay with, okay, you're taking care of that. Maybe that's not how I would take care of that situation, but you know what? I'm going to stay in my lane, because, you know, and you learn what's worth arguing over and what's not actually worth arguing over. Yeah. So, like, getting that separation, I think, is key, too, of, like, these are your responsibilities, these are your responsibilities, and these are the ones that are in the middle that we both are tackling, and then that way you can work together.
Yes. I had to learn to, like, that, like, that's your area, and I made the mistake many times, and she called me out on it, and I've intentionally try to get better at, like, I'm not just gonna jump to, like,
right,
you know,
because the way she does it is probably not the way I would do it.
No.
Or handle a certain situation, but she still gets the same result. So I need to just let her do the way she thinks it needs to be handled, and just be grateful that it's not taking up my headspace.
Yeah.
So I can take care of what I need to take care of.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a difficult one.
It is. But, like I said, I'm beyond grateful that I get to work with my wife every day.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I couldn't imagine it any other way.
No, I mean, she worked in the corporate world for so long that it just kind of seemed like that. The weird thing is, like, that's kind of what, like when we, like, we didn't not love each other. We just weren't working we weren't, like, working together even in our household. Like, it just, because our lives were almost completely different.
Yeah.
Like, she was in the corporate world, climbing the corporate ladder. I was in the restaurant business, and it was different.
Sure.
Like, our lives were different at that point. So like
Yeah.
that's what I'm extremely grateful for, because it has made our marriage even stronger, and our
Yeah.
relationship, obviously. So.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. I would recommend to anybody that, I mean, there are definitely certain people that say, oh, I could never do that, work with my spouse. Like, well,
Yeah.
then I would say that's fine. And there's certain people that just have the opposite personalities. And I think, okay, well, good for you for knowing that your marriage is better off you guys not working together. But anybody that says, hey, I mean, I'm thinking about going into business, but what do you think? I'd like to give that advice of I wouldn't have it any other way, and here's why.
Yeah.
And.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is too, like, I mean, me and my wife, I would say, have very opposite personalities, but it actually works out well for us
Yeah.
working together.
Oh yeah,
So,
same for Hill and I. It's for us, it's good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
If she's the super nice one, and if somebody needs like the stern side, then
yeah, I mean, sometimes that's what you need.
oh yeah, for sure.
And then, but it works out, and I agree. I wouldn't have it any other way at this point. Like, I honestly, 4 or 5 years ago, I would have never even dreamed of it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm in it, like, it's way better.
Yeah, and you guys are growing together,
Mm-hmm.
which is something that I just appreciate so much with Hill. It's like we are growing, not only spiritually, but like business wise, professionally together.
Yeah.
And we both want to be better.
Yeah.
So it's nice to transfer that into every area of our life, raising our kids and things like that, showing them that without having to like physically like try and tell them. It's kids are going to catch way more than they actually, hear.
Yeah, and they're gonna
caught, not taught.
Yeah, they see it.
Yeah.
They're gonna see it and not hear it.
Yeah,
at the
for
end
sure.
of the day, so
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
it was my pleasure. Appreciate it.